Video coverage of IT Expo is brought to you by Content Boost, the content marketing specialists. Amplify your sales today.
Hi, I'm Eric Lanask here at IT Expo in Miami, Florida. On today's program with me is Ken Hosack from Cradlepoint. Ken, thanks for joining me. Good to see you again.
Thanks, Eric. It's a pleasure being here.
So, obviously, for anybody who knows Cradlepoint well, know a little bit about what you've been up to. I think one of the big things that's been driving your business and a lot of the M2M activity in general is just the explosive growth of wireless and mobile technologies. From what seems to be ancient 2G to 3G, and now exciting and sometimes blazing fast 4G.
Yeah.
Obviously has impacted your business as well.
Yeah, absolutely. If you look at the history of wireless data, when it first started becoming pervasive, it was really the Blackberries, the Trios, the Apples for being able to look at web-based information, do your emails on the phone. And what's happened is as those networks have matured and as 4G has become pervasive, enterprises have taken a serious look and are using it as an enterprise-grade WAN network, internet source. And so you're seeing enterprises use it in the same way that they might use DSL or cable or T1 for internet access into their stores or branch offices or kiosks.
Are you saying not purely as a failover technology, but as a regular connectivity option?
Correct. I mean, it started in failover. And the idea, the whole reason is all these enterprises, as you're covering here at IT Expo, a lot of their enterprise applications have moved up in the cloud. Mm-hmm. And when you have cloud-based applications, your Achilles heel is your network connectivity. And if your network connection goes down, you just have no access to your
Sure.
cloud-based app. So after Hurricane Katrina, one of the largest insurance companies in the US, put about 18,000 of our solutions in every single one of their branch offices because they realized when the flooding comes in, that's when their customers need them the most. Look up your policy, claims, etc. The experience they've had with using it as failover has been phenomenal. And so now we're starting to see them use it as an alternate network in their stores, which I can explain later, and in some cases where they've cut the cord completely and they're using all wireless as their sole internet access for their enterprises.
Is the wireless industry, just to touch on that last point for a moment, is the wireless industry at a point where network reliability and also cost can sustain that kind of activity?
Yeah, it all depends on how much revenue they're getting from that customer. And so if you have someone who's using a lot of bandwidth and they're using a T1 line, for example, they could be paying as much as $400, $500, as much as $1,000 a month for their T1 access at 1.5 megabits per second. So if you convert that over to 4G LTE, there's a lot of room, even if you use a lot of data. And if you're working with the carriers, you're really understanding how much data you're using, you can come up with a very cost-effective plan, especially compared to T1. From a reliability standpoint, one of the products that we introduced supports 2 4G LTE modems with the idea that an enterprise could have one connection on one carrier, one connection on the other for redundancy. And so now you have the type of reliability that you can compare against T1 where you can get 4 nines or more availability with an all-wireless solution.
How have those changes within the user base, within the enterprise user base, changed your product line?
We've listened. With failover, they would use our solution as a bridge, 4G LTE to Ethernet, and then they would put that Ethernet in the back of their existing router. A lot of times those router had redundant WAN ports that weren't being used. And then they were also rolling out customer Wi-Fi. So now you're spending money on a router, a bridge, a Wi-Fi, and our customers have been saying what they really would like is a single integrated solution, kind of an all-in-one solution that does all of that. And that's the product I brought with you that we announced last week at the National Retail Federation. This is our Air 2100. So you have the 2 modems, so you can lock on multiple carriers for reliability. You still have support for all the wired connections. But the bottom line is these enterprises are looking for ways to save money, consolidate all the hardware, consolidate vendors, and we've been listening very hard to our customers, and that's why we've launched this.
Talk a little bit about your customers. what kind of businesses are coming to you and using your solutions?
I would say it's primarily retail, finance, and insurance. And in the retail segment, from a failover standpoint, one of the largest quick-serve restaurant companies came to us with about 18,000 locations, just for the same reason that the insurance company did. They looked at all their wired connections, and they were using a lot of DSL, and their level of availability from DSL was 98.5%. And that means at any given moment, you have 1.5% to 2% of your stores down. So if you have 10,000 stores, that means you have 200 stores down at any point. And again, they used to use dial-up, but it just doesn't have the bandwidth for all these cloud-based applications. It needs the bandwidth. So that's one of our major retail deployments. Another large home improvement store here in the U.S. wanted to take their employees off of their secure point-of-sale network. You've read in the news all these credit card breaches from some of the top retailers. These retail stores are getting paranoid about sharing their secure point-of-sale network with other applications, and so they used a Cradlepoint solution to offload the employees off the network. One of the largest banks in the nation used Cradlepoint to power the digital signage in all their branch offices, every single one of their branch offices. They wanted the person doing the digital content, him or her, to be able to update that content without having him or her on the secure financial network. So this notion of parallel networks where you can stand up a separate network has really been exploding.
Tell me a little bit about your relationship with ILS.
We have some exciting news here at the show. We participated in the ILS workshop this morning and announced that we have our a developer-ready version of the device-wise client that ILS has, where we've integrated that into the Cradlepoint router. And this enables customers who want to leverage what Cradlepoint offers. Very good at 4G, very good at cloud-enabled management, very good at multiple WANs and networking. Leverage that with what ILS has done, where they can connect end devices and sensors and take that information up through the network into the cloud to enterprise management systems such as SAP and Oracle. So it's we're very excited about the prospects there.
What does it really? What does it mean for the future of Cradlepoint?
It's a way of really expanding our customer base, and for those customers that want to use our solution in their stores, it means that they can not only use this for traditional enterprise networking, such as the manager's PC, the printer, customer Wi-Fi, but particularly in some of our quick serve restaurant customers, etc. Now they can take advantage of some of the M2M technology we have to connect sensors, video cameras, HVAC, heating and air conditioning control systems, using the ILS agent through our platform up into their enterprise systems. If you think about it, if you have a gas station, that fuel level, the tank sensor,
sure.
If you can feed that information up through the cloud up to your enterprise resource planning system, now you can plan where your fuel trucks drive to, as opposed to just randomly doing the same route. You can really have it based on demand and have that all figured out in real time. So, from a customer standpoint, they benefit by having a smaller amount of hardware, more cost effective in the store, and more real-time information.
Excellent. Well, Ken, good to see you. Thank you, as always, for joining us here on the program.
Thanks, Eric. Much appreciated.
Video coverage of ITEXPO is brought to you by Content Boost, the content marketing specialists. Amplify your sales today.